half the rappers from the East Coast was there when I got shot. Nobody knew a thing. That's just like you come into the hood and the police ask them what happened, and everybody's like, I don't know. You know they lying.
A rare Tupac audio recording has been making the rounds on social media because the deceased rapper said that he knew Diddy and Biggie were plotting against him and were either involved in or arranged his shooting. The recording was recorded when Biggie and Tupac were no longer friends but rather rap rivals, and Tupac said that Diddy and Biggie were aware of his shooting but pretended to be unaware. While there were several minor squabbles between Tupac and Biggie, the first major fallout occurred when they were slated to collaborate on a project for another rapper, Lil Sean, and Tupac were shot. Tupac proceeded to Times Square's Quad Recording Studios and was about to go upstairs to where Biggie and Combs were when he was mugged. Tupac was gunned down in the foyer and shot 5 times, but he escaped unharmed. Tupac suspected Biggie had something to do with it, despite the fact that they did make it upstairs to meet them immediately after the incident. He may have been true in his assertion that Biggie knew about the assault because a close friend of Big claimed to have seen Pac and informed Big that Pac was in the studio. Big then directed them to take Pac to his position in the studio, but when he went down to collect Pac, they saw a gunned-up armed man who told them to leave. Lil Cease then returned to inform Big, who had gone down for Pac, only to discover that Tupac had already been shot 5 times and robbed. There was never confirmation that Biggie or Diddy were aware of the occurrence, but they had to have been aware since a few months later, Biggie's B-side single had a track called Who Shot Ya, which prompted Tupac to respond with the song Hit 'Em Up. Tupac claimed in it that he had slept with Biggie's wife, Faith Evans, who refuted the claim, adding, "That's not how I do business." Tupac and Biggie had probably the greatest rivalry in music history, yet both died just as their careers were taking off. Tupac was shot and killed on September 7, 1996, and died 6 days later, while Biggie was shot and killed on March 9, 1997, 6 months later. Regardless of their antagonism, one thing is certain, they began as friends. Big and Pac fell in love when they first met since they had so much in common. Both grew up without fathers and had a passion for music and rap. Pac even recommended Big concentrate on selling his songs to ladies, which greatly aided Big's career. According to a Vice extract from Ben Westhoff's book Original Gangsters, the true story of Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Tupac Shakur, and the origins of West Coast rap, Biggie asked a heroin dealer to introduce him to Tupac at a Los Angeles party, where they hit it off right away. Dan Smalls, an intern who worked with Biggie, described the meeting, saying, "Pac walks into the kitchen and starts cooking for us. He's in the kitchen cooking some steaks. We went into the kitchen and he had steaks and French fries and bread and Kool-Aid. And we just sitting there eating and drinking and laughing." That's truly where Big and Pac's friendship started. The two rappers, as well as their friend groups, had mutual respect. Tupac's pals felt Biggie was a great rapper, and Biggie thought Pac was a talented buddy and artist. According to some reports, Tupac even offered Biggie a Hennessy bottle as a gift. They grew so close that when Biggie was in California, he would crash on Tupac's couch, and when Tupac was in New York, he would always stop by Biggie's neighborhood. They were, in essence, just like any other pair of pals. Their combined talent's potential greatness was also clear when they freestyled together at the 1993 Budweiser Superfest at New York City's Madison Square Garden. Biggie frequently looked to Tupac for business guidance and even asked him to handle his career. But Tupac stated he didn't enjoy combining business and friendship and advised him to stick with Diddy. Their friendship came to an end after the Quad Studio shooting, which led Tupac to assume Biggie was aware of the attack in advance. Tupac contacted Suge Knight while incarcerated, and Suge not only bailed him out but also gave him a spot on his Death Row Records roster. Tupac agreed, solidifying the rivalry between Knight's label and Co's Bad Boy Records. Any artist out there that wants to be an artist, stay a star, and won't have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the records, dancing, come to Death Row. Knight had sent a sharp rebuke to Diddy. Tupac's celebrity grew following his prison sentence as a result of surviving 5 shootings, and Big subsequently released his classic tune Who Shot Ya, which was interpreted as a diss despite Tupac's claims to the contrary. After being sentenced to death, Tupac released one of the best-selling hip-hop albums of all time, All Eyes on Me, which made him the first rapper to have 2 songs chart at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, California Love and How Do You Want It. Without a break, he then released his most famous diss tune, Hit 'Em Up, in which he dissed Big, claiming that Big set him up in quad, imitated his style, and had a thing with Big's wife, Faith. Tupac didn't stop there. In interviews, he stated that he liked Big and that he did a lot for him, and that Big owed Pac more than just admitting he didn't know about the quad setup. He also stated that their beef was not particularly large and that magazines were heating the beef. The streets went wild after hearing Tupac's diss track, and everyone was talking about it. The East versus West battle had begun. Big returned home enraged after hearing the diss for the first time and questioned Faith if what Tupac alleged in his diss was true. Faith stated that she was unaware of what occurred between Pac and Big, but that Pac had told her that he was a lover of her music and wanted to offer her a deal with Death Row. Big decided to put his trust in faith because he knew Tupac was only out to hurt him. Big conducted an interview at Lil Cease's birthday party, and when questioned about Pac, he indicated he would deal with him if he came to New York. Big stated that he intended to release a new album and that he didn't need the East verses. West being to sell his records, Big was correct. Hit 'Em Up was unable to harm him as an MC who avoided discussing his personal life. The album was as successful as all of his previous releases, but it also significantly boosted Tupac, who died in 1996. After Pac died, Big returned to California to settle their feud, making it clear in his song Coming Back to Cali that his issue was with Pac, not the entire West Coast. He also performed Hypnotize, following which he left with his crew to attend a party. Tragically, when Big returned from the party, he was shot exactly like Tupac and died on March 9, 1997. While Tupac's murder was never solved, others suspected that Diddy hushed him in order to make Biggie the bigger rapper. In the recently released documentary Murder Rap, former LAPD detective Greg Carding stated that Diddy paid a Crips gang member to assassinate Tupac during the height of the feud between Bad Boy Entertainment and Death Row Records. Puff Daddy kept silent on the matter until the Breakfast Club host Charlamagne Tha God challenged him to address claims that he put a hit on Tupac. Diddy elaborated, "We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect. I appreciate you as a journalist asking." Thank you. The radio show presenter and his co-hosts Angela Yee and DJ Envy praised Diddy's candor and cool demeanor in the face of the controversy. Diddy claims he's evolved a lot throughout his career and has made a conscious effort to keep his cool as he's progressed in the industry. Regardless of their feud, Biggie and Tupac were both successful rappers. They were two of the most skilled hip-hop artists on the scene at the time, and they were both committed to revealing the truth about life on the streets, social injustice, and the racial divide. The main distinction between Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls is that they represented opposite coasts. I hope they were able to reconnect wherever they went. According to a Twitter user, it's going on 30 years, and Tupac and Biggie still hold a high impact in hip-hop. They ain't even make it to 30, barely over 25. Another said, "I've always wondered who killed John Bennett, Tupac, and Biggie just always blew my mind that such high-profile crimes couldn't be solved." Anyway, keep in mind that this video is based on theories and my opinions and should not be taken as fact. That concludes this video. Bye.